Hi, this is Matthew again. Today I want to talk to you about the second of the two witnesses of Revelation, who they are and what leads me to this conclusion. The second witness, I believe, is Moses. So, what should our conclusion be of the life of Elijah? The life, missions, and significance of the biblical prophet Elijah provide a rich tapestry of faith, courage, and divine intervention. Elijah's calling as a prophet of God, his relationship with the divine, and his major events in the narrative of the Hebrew Bible showcase his unique role as a powerful and charismatic figure in religious history. Elijah's succession plan for his ministry, the circumstances surrounding his death, and the potential role of Elijah in eschatology highlight the enduring impact of his prophetic legacy. As a symbol of faithfulness, zeal, and divine authority, Elijah continues to inspire believers and scholars alike with his transformative message of hope and redemption. In exploring the life of Elijah, we are reminded of the power of faith, the courage to confront injustice, and the enduring presence of God in the midst of human struggles. Elijah's story resonates across the centuries, inviting us to reflect on our own calling, relationship with the divine, and mission in the world. May we be inspired by Elijah's example to stand firm in our faith, speak truth to power, and trust in the providence of the God who sustains us. In addition, was there a reason that Elijah was taken to heaven before his death on earth? Does God have another task for Elijah to perform? We don't know this for sure, but it seems that God took Elijah to heaven before he died for a reason. God also allowed Elisha to witness this fact so it could be recorded. These two facts seem to support the position that Elijah could be one of the two witnesses written about in Revelation. If Elijah is one of the witnesses, who is the other one? We believe the second witness is Moses. Let's look at Moses' life and some of the events that happened to him and how his possible death is recorded. The life of Moses is one of the most well-known and significant stories in the Bible. He is credited with leading the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and receiving 10 commandments from God. His story is one of faith, courage, and obedience, and it has inspired countless people throughout history. In this video, we will delve into the upbringing and significant events that shaped Moses' life, as well as explore the biblical account of the plagues that he brought upon Egypt to free his people. We will also compare and contrast these plagues with those mentioned in the book of Revelation as signs of God's judgment, as well as provide evidence supporting the argument that Moses is the other witness mentioned in Revelation. First, what do we know about the birth of Moses and his upbringing? Moses was born during a time when the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. His mother, Jochebed, gave birth to him during a time when the Pharaoh had ordered all male Hebrew infants to be killed. In order to save Moses' life, his mother placed him in a basket and set him adrift on the Nile River. The basket was discovered by Pharaoh's daughter, who decided to raise Moses as her own son. Moses grew up in the royal court of Egypt, receiving the best education and training. Despite his privileged upbringing, Moses never forgot his Hebrew roots. One day, he witnessed an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave, and in a fit of rage, he killed the Egyptian. Afraid for his life, Moses fled to the land of Midian, where he married and became a shepherd. In the land of Midian, what event changed the direction of Moses' life? While tending his flock in the wilderness, Moses encountered a burning bush that was not consumed by the fire. When he approached the bush, God spoke to him and revealed his plan to deliver the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. God instructed Moses to go to Pharaoh and demand the release of his people. Moses was hesitant and afraid to accept this divine mission, but God assured him that he would be with him every step of the way. With God's guidance and support, Moses returned to Egypt to confront Pharaoh and lead the Israelites to freedom. In order to free the people, God needed to send a number of plagues to impact the Pharaoh and his people. The story of the plagues of Egypt is one of the most dramatic and powerful accounts in the Bible. God used these plagues to demonstrate his power and to persuade Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. There were 10 plagues in total, each one more severe than the last. The first plague was turning water into blood, which is recorded in Exodus chapter 7 verses 14 and 15. God instructed Moses to strike the waters of the Nile River with his staff, turning the water into blood. This plague lasted for 7 days, causing the death of fish and rendering the water undrinkable. The second plague was when God sent many frogs and is recorded in Exodus chapter 8 verses 1 to 15. After Pharaoh refused to let the Israelites go, God sent a plague of frogs to infest Egypt. The frogs covered the land, infiltrating homes and beds. The Pharaoh again refused to let the Israelites go, so God sent gnats or lice, which is recorded in Exodus chapter 8 verses 16 to 19. This third plague involved God turning the dust of the earth into gnats or lice that covered the Egyptians and their animals, causing great discomfort. However, again Pharaoh wouldn't let God's people go. So God sent the fourth plague, which brought swarms of flies that plagued the land of Egypt, causing even more misery and distress. This is recorded in Exodus chapter 8 verses 20 to 32. Pharaoh again refused to let the people go, so God sent a fifth plague. In the fifth plague, God struck down the livestock of the Egyptians, while leaving the Israelites' livestock unharmed. This plague is recorded in Exodus chapter 9 verses 1 to 7. Again, Pharaoh didn't let God's people go. So God sent a sixth plague, which was a plague of boils that afflicted the Egyptians and caused them great pain and suffering. The plague of boils is recorded in Exodus chapter 9 verses 8 to 12. Even this plague didn't cause the Pharaoh to release the Israelites. God then sent the seventh plague, which brought a severe hailstorm to Egypt, destroying crops and causing widespread devastation. This plague is recorded in Exodus chapter 9 verses 13 to 35. However, even this plague didn't cause Pharaoh to let God's people go. As a result, God sent an eighth plague. The eighth plague involved a swarm of locusts that devoured what was left of the crops, leaving the land barren and desolate. Exodus chapter 10 verses 1 to 20 record this plague. The Pharaoh still didn't budge, so God sent another plague. The ninth plague brought a thick darkness that covered the land of Egypt for 3 days, so dark that people couldn't see. The Bible records this plague in Exodus chapter 10 verses 21 to 29. You would think that the Pharaoh and the people would be tired of this series of plagues and let God's people go. However, Pharaoh's heart was as hard as ever. So, God sent one last plague. A plague that Pharaoh himself pronounced on the Israelite people, that all their firstborn children would be killed. The Bible records this plague in Exodus chapter 11 verses 1 to 10. This 10th and final plague was the death of the firstborn in every Egyptian household, including Pharaoh's own son. This was the most devastating of all the plagues, and it finally convinced Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. So how do these plagues compare to the plagues with Revelation at the end of days? The plagues of Egypt are often seen as a foreshadowing of the end times judgments described in the book of Revelation. In Revelation, there are 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 bowls of judgment that are poured out on the earth. These judgments are similar to the plagues of Egypt in that they are divine punishments brought upon the wicked in order to bring about repentance and judgment. Both the plagues of Egypt and the judgments in Revelation are meant to show the power and sovereignty of God, as well as to bring about the redemption and deliverance of His people. They are also a warning to the nations to turn from their wicked ways and seek God's forgiveness. So, what is the evidence that would suggest that Moses is the second witness in Revelation? The book of Revelation mentions 2 witnesses who will testify before the world during the end times. These witnesses are described as having the power to bring plagues upon the earth and to be killed by the beast. Many scholars and theologians believe that one of these witnesses is Moses based on several key pieces of evidence. We have already suggested that the other witness is Elijah. What is the proof that Moses is the second witness? First, Moses is known for his miraculous signs and wonders, such as the plagues of Egypt. This is consistent with the description of the witnesses in Revelation, who are able to bring about plagues and judgments on the earth. Second, Moses is mentioned alongside the prophet Elijah in the transfiguration of Jesus, as recorded in Matthew chapter 17 verses 1 to 8. Elijah is traditionally seen as one of the 2 witnesses in Revelation, so it stands to reason that Moses could be the other witness. Third, Moses is associated with the law, while Elijah is associated with the prophets. In Revelation, the 2 witnesses are described as testifying to the law and the prophets, indicating that Moses could be one of the witnesses. What does the Bible say about the death of Moses? The Bible does not explicitly state what happened to Moses after his death. In Deuteronomy 34:5-8, it says, "So Moses the servant of the Lord died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord. And he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, over against Beth Peor, but no man knows of his sepulchre unto this day." This passage suggests that Moses was buried by God himself and that the location of his grave is unknown. However, there are other theories and traditions surrounding the fate of Moses. Some believe that Moses did not actually die but was taken up to heaven by God, similar to what happened to Elijah in 2 Kings 2:11. This theory is supported by the fact that Jude 1:9 mentions a dispute between Michael the archangel and the devil over the body of Moses, implying that Moses' body was taken up to heaven. Others believe that Moses did die and was buried by God in a hidden location to prevent his body from becoming an object of worship. This theory is supported by the fact that Moses was a humble servant of God who always directed attention to the Lord rather than himself. The life of Moses is a testament to faith, courage, and obedience to God. From his humble beginnings as a Hebrew slave to his exalted position as the leader of the Israelites, Moses' story continues to inspire and challenge people to follow God's will for their lives. Through his miraculous signs and wonders, including the plagues of Egypt, Moses demonstrated the power and sovereignty of God in bringing about deliverance and redemption for his people. The comparison of the plagues of Egypt with the judgments in Revelation serves as a reminder of the consequences of disobedience and the importance of repentance and faith in God. The evidence supporting Moses as the other witness in Revelation highlights his enduring legacy as a prophet and servant of the Lord. Whether Moses died and was buried by God or was taken up to heaven, his influence and impact continue to be felt in the hearts and minds of believers around the world. His story is a reminder of the power of God to work through imperfect and flawed individuals to accomplish his purposes and bring about his kingdom on earth. Moses' life serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who seek to follow God's will and live in obedience to his word. I hope this video gives you some info for thought as to who the two witnesses in Revelation might be. Regardless of who they are, we know that their mission is to deliver judgment to the unbelievers that occupy the earth during the end times and to, hopefully, convince others that Jesus is the Son of God. To watch other videos like this one to help build your biblical worldview or get better informed about the cultural issues of today, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org or to our rumble.com channel. You can help us by donating to help cover our video production cost, like this video, and posting it on your social media accounts. Thanks so much for helping and watching this video. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching this video from Nehemiah Reset. We hope you found it informative and helpful. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our Rumble, YouTube and Facebook channels. You can also visit our website at nehemiahreset.org to learn more about our vision, our resources, and our upcoming events. Thank you for your support and God bless you.